Okay, so so far we have used this kind of notepad to type the HTML codes and to create a web page. So, and you and me both know, once we type something like this, we can double click on the particular web page and we can take the output. So this is the page 123 that is regarding the home page. So let me open the code of it. So there you go. Right, so we can have this kind of a output with the help of a notepad. But since we get to know about all these HTML elements and all the what we call the HTML attributes and components, now in real world, in practical world, they are not really typing it from the scratch. What they are doing is instead of that, they use web designing softwares to define or like to create the web pages, which is going to be a very easy task for the designers, because it is kind of a creating some particular document using different kinds of objects. So once you are planning it, these web designing softwares are there to write the code by themselves, right? So there are two types of things that we can use, is like web authoring tool and the content management systems, right? So first of all, we are going to talk about the web authoring tools. And when it comes to these particular softwares, these are two categories. These two categories are like it is based on this YCYG concept. This is called YCYG, right? So it explains what you see is what you get, right? That means when you are creating something, that is what you are going to receive as the web page, right? You will understand it when the practicals are started, right? So there are two categories: web authoring tools, content management systems. So web authoring tools, like it is there to create a web page in a simpler manner, not like by typing the stuff, but just arranging the objects on a particular component or a particular template. But when it comes to content management system, it's something very advanced. Like we really don't need to create the web page or a website from the scratch. When it comes to the CMS, they have given you all the like most of the components of your website. For that they have different types of things what we call templates. So you can take a template and you can edit that template according to your requirement. Then that template will behave according the way you like, right? So when it comes to these complex websites like social media website like Facebook, Instagram kind of things, which we call the dynamic websites, they are created using the CMS, content management systems. Web authoring tool, of course, you can use a web authoring tool to create any kind of website, but it will take time. Then you are creating a web page or a website using a CMS. But comparatively, both the categories, or like both the ways, both the softwares are much faster than the pure text editor, right? So that text editor will consume a lot of time for you to create a small output. And what you can see is, I'll show it to you. With the web authoring tool, you can create the same web page within a minute, right? Okay, when it comes to the web authoring tools, there are different kinds of web authoring tools. So these things on your book, Composer, CK Editor, Blue Griffin, those are some free and open source softwares that you can that is freely available for you to create the web pages. As well as there are some paid versions or like paid softwares as well, which has some more advanced features in it, something like Adobe Dreamweaver, where we have to pay and take, even the Microsoft Front Page and Visual Studio. So those things you have to pay and take what's the to use that particular thing. But when it comes to the Composer, CK Editor, Blue Griffin kind of softwares, we don't need to purchase it. We can just visit to the official website and we can just download it. Right? That's all. So yeah, here in the book, they have introduced you a small web page where they used to create it using the Composer, right? And they have created this particular one. So if you think about this web page, you can see like there is an arrangement of this web page like a table. And what you can see is they have merged 3 columns over here. That means a call span is there. And here they have created some particular frames. And in the middle, they have a picture. And at the right-hand side, there is a particular place where it explains the contents inside the image. So a simple arrangement, but think about if you are asked to create this using the notepad. So you have to start it from the scratch and type the HTML and all these things. And then you have to take the table. Then you have to code how the table table details are going to be arranged. And it will take some little time. So let's see how we can create this using a web authoring tool like Composer, right? So before that, I'll show you like we have created this much of this kind of table last week. So I'm going to the Composer. So like Composer is kind of a software where we do not need to do installation into our computer. So what we can do is we can just download the Composer compressed folder, and once we extracted it, it's just working as a portable version. So this is the extracted document for the folder. Here we have this composer.exe, which when I'm double clicking on it, it will get executed. I haven't installed this into my computer. I just copy and paste the zip file and I have extracted it. Once I extracted it, I got this folder called Composer with this. So I'm just double clicking and executing the Composer. Right. So here they have taken the Composer. So this is the way that it has been launched. So you can have the non-mobile version of Composer as well, but it just it saves the same thing. Right now in the Composer, what you can see is you can see the menus at the top of the window, and you can see some toolbars. Not toolbars, actually you can see a toolbar which has many different kind of tools which we are normally using when we are creating a particular web page. Like open, save, publish. Publish is there to do the publishing part of the web page to a specific website. I'll tell you when the time comes how the publishing is done. So like undo, redo buttons, anchor, link, image, table, forms. So those are some frequently used in components, right? So, and then you have different kinds of tools over here. There is something called Cascade S. So that is standing for Cascade in Style Sheet, where we use that different kind of technology to style our web page, right? Which is not in your syllabus for the moment. If you're coming to the ICT in A levels, yes, you can learn how the CSS work. And you can use different kinds of headings, paragraph, which reminds you the header tags and the paragraph tags, right? And you can give the bullet list, numbered list over here. This is numbered list. This is bullet list, or like the ordered list, unordered list in HTML. And you can do the indentation, right? So it's something very similar that we are creating a particular document on a word processing software, right? And you can choose a color by clicking on this small black square over here. So it will give you the color palette, and you can say okay. As well as you can increase the font size, decrease the font size using these two, make it bold, italic, underline using these three, and the alignment can be make using these four tools. So something very similar to the word processing software. And the beautiful thing is here, this is the working area, right? So this is the normal working area where we can take different kinds of objects like images, tables, forms, or different kinds of one. Even you can type on this, right? So like if I type something like hello, and it's just there. So this is something very similar to what you're going to see on a web browser, right? So no tags are being involved. Actually, the tags are being involved, they are hidden, right? This is the output that they are showing. And if you go to the HTML tags right over here at the bottom, they have four types of tags: normal, HTML, source, and the preview. So if you go to the HTML tags, it will show you the tags that they have used. If you go to the source, look at what they have done. They have typed the HTML code on behalf of us, right? So HTML is there, head is there. This meta content thing that is regarding a little bit complex thing regarding the what you call the industry. And these two, you know, title tags, you can manage title tags if you want. And they have taken the head tag, right? And they have taken the body tag, right? And there you go. They have taken the span tag and they have put some styles. As I told you, this gives you many different ways that you are going to create your web page. So here they have used something called span to create the word hello. So none of these are typed by us. It is like what? Already generated. So in the preview, we can see the preview, how our contents are going to act when it is on the browser. So I quickly go into the normal view, and I'm going to insert a table. What I'm trying to do is I need to create this particular table. This is being coded. Now I'm going to do it using web authoring tool. Right, so I'm going to do it, go to the table, and you got 4 lines and 2 columns. All right, so here it gives you some dots, so you can arrange your table, and you can select these two and right click and ask to merge or join the selected cells. Right, and if you right click this, you can see many different things like copy, paste, all these things, remove all text, create links, those kind of things. Right, so what you can do is you can type student details, and I can make it bold and make it center aligned, and increase the font size a little. Then I can say Nishan Karuna Sena. Right, and Nisha Sirivardhana. And yeah, I can type for tower. From here, I can change the width of the particular column from the top over here. And I'm going to merge these two. Join selected cell. And what I can write is, can give Casper over here. All right. Betty. Yeah, I will. In the mix. Right. And I can type the heading and make it center aligned. Yeah. Yeah, like if you are going to put ABC as a caption, let me check whether I can make it a caption. Not in the right click columns, right click menus, and let me see. Yeah. Even from the tables, they are not allowing me to insert a caption. So what I can do is I can go to the source and make my ABC as a caption. How I'm going to make my ABC as a caption? So I take ABC and inside, like after the table starting tag, I can put a caption and paste it and close the caption button. All right, so it works as a caption. Right, so we didn't went through a lot of codings, but what they have done is they have done the coding on behalf of us. And there can be things that you don't really understand. What is this style attribute and what's this span tag is doing, right? All these things. So on those cases, you have to learn those things slowly, right? So what you can have the idea is, so this is the way that you are going to do a particular work. People, are you clear with the very fundamental things regarding the web authoring tool? Right. So then you can save this page. So they are asking like, please enter a title for the current page. So let's say student details. And press OK. And they're asking the place that we need to save this thing. So I'll give the desktop. So it's saved. Right. So now you can find the HTML file. Right over here. So if I double click on it, here comes the student details. Something similar. There are little changes regarding the font size and all these things, but the rest of the things are similar. Right. So shall we note some things down and then come to the things that we are going to do, right? Okay, I have the subheading web design in software. I think I haven't mentioned you about this. And right, you may copy this down. Okay, people, are we done? Anyone who is still writing? All right, moving forward. So let's have the subheading saying web authoring tool. Okay, so you can copy this. The yellow one and the red one can be taken down as the examples. So after this paragraph. Okay, are we done? Okay, so moving forward. So yeah, so let's see how the other components can be taken from here. So like now the table is there. So if you want to go beyond the table, what you can do is like, you can place the cursor like at the end of the table and press enter. So here it comes. So now we can say, let's say we are having a particular image. So what we can do is let's just click on the image. So they are talking about importing the images. So from here we can browse any particular image. So let me take the image. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance, people. I had to take my little one. So let's select a picture. So let's say, yes, we are taking this picture of this car, right? So you can give an alternate text if you want, right? And if you want, you can give a tooltip as well. Tooltip means like when you are taking your mouse onto the picture, it's going to show you what it is. So let's give both of them and see. So right, and I'll give you alternative text saying car, right? And if we want, we can go for the advanced edit and change all the stuff, the source, the title, the alt text, right? And you have some methods of changing what's the width and what's the height, right? So if you want to change the values from over here, right? And then you can say, okay, right? So you can change the dimension from here if you want as well, actual size or the custom size, and appearance, right? A lot of things are there. You can make it a link if you want, make it as a link if you want, right? So once I press OK, yeah, see, I have received the car in a huge manner. So I can make this smaller from these dots. Not. Oh. Come. Don't worry. No. That's good. No. Yeah. And you can see how much, it doesn't matter how small that we are going to make this car, it's always trying to line up with the content, right? Right, so I can make it this small. right? Then that's the way we are going to have the picture. So if you want to see the particular changes, I can save it. From here, I can see the preview from over here. But if I really need to have it, if I really need to see it on the browser, so I can refresh this. Here we go. All right, so right. So likewise, you will be able to manage your document from over here. And if you want a different kinds of, let's say, if you want a header text over here, you can go here and make it a heading. Then you can go with the heading tag. People, hold on a minute. So here, if we give the welcome text, you can have the heading like that. Yeah, sorry people for this disturbance today. I don't have the caretaker with her, so I have to shift the things. Right, and even we can make the alignment. So we can make it, and if we want to make the bold, italic, underline stuff to this, so we can arrange it as well. Right. And if we want to make everything center aligned at once, so it's a matter of clicking things here and there. Right, even in the table, you can make the things bold separately or in a collective manner. Likewise, and if we want to make the table center aligned, let me guess. Yeah, the contents will be centered like this. I was trying to take my table into a center alignment. Hold on. Now it's a little bit harder from here, people, to arrange the table as a center aligned one. So I better go with the code. So what I can do is I can go to the source. And I can put center tag over here. And I can end the center tag from here. Right, so if I go to the normal view, now you can see my tables are being center aligned. So if I do the savings and I go to my web page and do the refreshing, so I will be able to see it like this. Okay, people, are we clear about the composer? And there are many things that you can do like this, people, right? So it's a small arrangement. So through this, you can use any of the things that you have used within the syllabus that we were learning. So you can have the text formattings, the tables, images, even if you want, you can have audios, videos over here, right? No problem. In links, right? Different kinds of links. So I'll show you how to put a link as well. Right, so I can take a link and they will be asking what kind of link text that I'm going to insert. So I'll take go to home over here. And they're asking what's the location of the link. So I can browse and give my home.html as my link. All right, then I can press OK. All right, so now if you visit to the code, you will see ahref has been created. Right, so I can do the saving and I can start my student.html. So I could go to home text over here. Once I press that, so it will be taking my home.html, which has the title as page 123. Right. So likewise, it's very easy to create things and to manage things with the web authoring tool. Okay, people. So are you having the idea how to deal with this? Yes, everyone, is it clear? Okay. Right, so let's note these things down. And if you got any question, just let me know, right? Then we'll go through how the things are going to be done with the web authoring tools. Yeah, so you can try this kind of web page through that. Even the homework that I have given to you, you can try some of the things using the web authoring tool, right? You can download the composer from their official website. I will put you the links as well, right? So yeah, and we are not going to write about these what the steps of saying how to do it. Sit down now. Sit down. Mimi, sit down. Right. So let's go and write about the CMS. I'll come to this static website and dynamic websites thing. It is purely regarding the like it's easy for you to understand when you know what is a CMS, then you can understand what is a dynamic website, right? So let me give you the note regarding the CMS first. Then let's go to the static and dynamic websites, right? Yeah, hold on a second, people. Okay, people. So you may write the things that I am highlighting over here. And again, sorry for the disturbance that is making today, people. Yeah, the things that I'm highlighting from yellow, write it as the points, people.
Yes. Something has happened.
And the blue color stuff should be written together, right? So, yeah. So the heading, then the red color one as a paragraph. These yellow color ones are as the components, or like as the points. And the blue color one can be written as another point, but these two together should be written. Okay, complete it quickly, people, then we can proceed. Right. Anyone who is still writing this? Okay. Yeah. So you can write these things as some examples, but you can see it on the next page. Yeah, you may write these three things as the examples for the CMSs, content management systems. Right. Are we done, people? Okay. Anyone who is still writing this? All right. So moving forward. So this says how to handle a particular CMS software. So like there are many different CMSs. Even if you think about my website, like today, today, I got some problem with my server, which I have published my website. So I think it is still under construction. All right, now it's okay. It seems okay. Now this particular website is also made out of Joomla, right? And I have an LMS which I use to give some particular questionnaires and all these things. That is made out of Moodle, right? So both of these websites are like made out of content management systems. Joomla is a different one, and Moodle is a different one. Moodle is there to it will help you to create the contents related to the learning materials. And Joomla, it is a general content management system which help us to manage a particular website, right? So to do this, yes, Astrika, Moodle is the one that they use in the Itaxara, and it's a very it's an open source software, and it is there are many various kind of tools for you to create different kinds of uh, uh, learning materials like questionnaires, the textbooks, right? Like there are many, right? So yeah, like if you are going to create a particular website using a CMS, the first thing that you need to do is like to create a particular software, to create a particular website, you need web pages, right? And as well as when you have the web pages, there should be a specific place to keep those web pages. That is something that we call a server. So if this is the server, what we are doing is we will be creating different kinds of web pages separately, means HTML documents. Later, we are going to place those documents inside a server. Why we are going to place these things inside a server? It is because without a server, we call this a host as well. No one else in the world, the population of the world will not be able to know, right, what my website is. So they will be able to access this server only if you place all your HTML documents inside the server. These people will be able to connect with your server to have the resources. You can't have your pages inside your local computer and ask these people to access to your local computer. It is not possible. Why it is not possible? It needs a very strong internet connection in one hand, and on the other hand, there are a lot of configurations that there is for you to do to configure your computer as a server computer. And it should be connected with the internet 24 hours, all 365 days. Then only the people will be able to find your computer on the internet. So, which is not practically possible in many ways. So because of that, what we are doing is, once we create the web pages, we upload them. We upload them to a server space. right? So when a server space, like when you need a server space, you can have a server space in two different ways. Like if you think about the companies like FB, Facebook, like Instagram, like Google, they have their own servers, right? In their companies, they have their own servers to maintain their web pages and all these things, right? So because their websites are highly used by millions and billions of users, so they need a separate place to store these web pages and to maintain these web pages. So they have their dedicated servers. We call them dedicated servers. And if you think about my website, in my website, I don't really have that much of users are being involved, right? So for this kind of website, I won't be able to have a dedicated software. It will cost me a lot. So instead of that, I am using a host called shared host, right? That means the server is being shared within different a number of people. So when we are having a shared host, what's happening here is you got this server space from a server. So let's say this is a server, right? So you are getting one particular piece, one particular space from this server as your own space, right? So then what I can do is I can put the HTML pages that I have created inside this server. And like me, there are many people who have rented the space of this server, right? These people has different domain names. Now, in my case, my domain name is www.starlabs.lk. So it comes only for this space. starlabs.lk කියන එක access කරන්න මේ ටික විතරයි. So let's see, you had something called www.abc.com. So abc.com only handles only this space, right? But physically, it's a one big server which is being shared among different kinds of customers or different kinds of web publishers, right? So this is what you call a shared host. So to host a particular website, to launch a particular website, it needs these two things. One is the server space and the other one is the name, which we call the domain name, right? So that is how we are going to receive what's the web address that others can visit through the internet, which indicates your website, right? So if you are going to purchase, so in that case, you have to purchase the server space as well as you have to purchase the domain name, both of the things, right? So then after, you will be given the chance to edit them through a CMS, content management system. So if you really want to purchase a domain name, you can go to the websites like register.lk, right? This is one of the websites, right? And from here, you can check whether your desired web address is available for you to take, because web address is something unique. You can't take the same name to different kinds of websites, right? So what you can do is, if you got some name in your mind, you can just type it and see whether it is available or not. So let's say you need a website with your name. So I'm just typing yugantha.laktaru. So I'm going to search whether this is available for me. All right. So yes, I can't use the dot sign. That's my bad. So say Yugantha Laktaru. I'm going to search the domain. Yeah. So this says yuganthalaktaru.com is available, right? So I can purchase this if I want. How I'm going to purchase it? They have mentioned me the cost. So yuganthalaktaru.com will cost me like 4,700 per year. And they are suggesting some other packages as well. So they are the price is a little bit high if you are going to use different kinds of features, right? So it shows me what are the opportunities and the options that I have. So like 9,450, 9,950, 11,950. Even there are like the domains for a cheaper amount as well, like the domain .icu will cost you 2,300. .net will give you 4,700. .xyz, right? .org, .nl, and .in, that's for India. .fr, that's for France. Likewise, if you are going to maintain this particular website out of our motherland, so you can go for that particular country's top level domain, right? So likewise, it doesn't mean that you can only purchase a particular domain that you have to live in that country. It does not, right? You can purchase a .au domain from Sri Lanka. So Australia, like Australia people can do the same. They can download a .lk domain from Australia, right? So there is no restrictions like that, right? But the cost will be varied, right? So if you think about the most cheapest one, you can go with yugantalaktaru.nl right over here, right? So likewise, there will be domain names. So first thing, you have to buy a domain name. Then the second thing is like you have to find a host. In our case, we have to find a shared host. So if you just search like shared hosting services, like there are many ways that you can find it. So this link tells you like what are the top best hosting services that we can use. We can use something like WordPress. We can use something like HostGator, Hoststring, Ionos, GoDaddy, DreamHost, A2 Hosting, Webcom, likewise. So you can visit to one of these. Let's see how the Bluehost is working. So from here, you are going to purchase a particular server space. So you can park all your HTML documents and HTML related files in that particular place. So people can come and visit to that as they want. So here, this is the Bluehost, the hosting services. So if you go for the, yeah, let's see how the price is going to go. Yeah, so this is how the shared hosting is happening. So there are some Black Friday deals as well. And anyway, if you go to the plans and pricings, it's going to show you something like this. Right? So it gives you the price comparison as well, and the features of these, they will present you. Right? And they will give a particular benefit list underneath it. Right? So how much that you are going to receive. Right? So see, it's the web storage is like 10 GB in the first one, 20 GB in the second one, and 40 GB in the fourth one. Right? So likewise, you will be receiving a particular web space if you pay and take these things. And be very careful when you are pay for these kind of things. Now, even in the Bluehost, what they're doing is in the very first purchase is like happen to be like a very like we can't say cheap, like very cost effective one. And later, after a year, you will realize that you need to put like $12 to maintain my particular things. So nowadays it's just 3.95. They say like 73% off. So what they're doing is they just give a small discount just for 1 month of dealing. Then all the other months they are going to have the regular pricing, right? Like 12 per month. All right. So be very careful. Like even not like even though this is not being hosted, like there are many what you call web hosters other than the things that you are finding through the internet, right? So like if you think about my website is hosted on a local host, right, where it can manage the particular hotspot and the server related things, so it will be easier, right? And again, you should be careful the offers that they are making, because like most of the hosting services will provide you the host as well as the domain name as a bundle, right? So domain name is free of charge, as this says. You only need to pay for the host only for that year. And what will happen is, like once that payment is done, and when my the server, the host in place, and the other details regarding the website are in the same place now, in the Bluehost. So if you want to later, if you want to take your web pages into a different kind of uh, hosting service, it will be pretty hard to do that, because they have put a lot of regulations inside this particular the current server, and saying like if you are going to leave, you have to be like this, your page is going to be like this and that, and like it is already been customized to that particular place. So it's better, the best practice is like taking only the server space from the shared hosting service provider, and keeping your web pages and the resources in a separate way, right? So it doesn't matter, you are not liable for the Bluehost or HostGator or like GoDaddy or any of the things regarding your domain name, right? So you just have the domain name from a different place. So you can apply, you can say that I have a domain name. You just configure the this particular website to this particular things, right? So like then it won't be a problem, right? You can just make it here and there, and you can port your source codes to any particular server that you need, right? And even though here, like since the dollar rate is up, if you are going to purchase the cheapest one, still it will cost you 2.95 per month. That means almost $3. That means 1,200 or like 1,000 odd number. So that's per month, right? But when that month is done, then you are going to pay $12 per month, right? So like now, I'm sorry, not the $12, 9.9, and that means 10. So 10 means it's like almost how much? Like 3,500 kind of things, likewise. All right, so you have to be careful, like how much that you are going to spend on a particular domain. Sometimes there are services which provide you the domains free of charge. All right, so those kind of things can be happen when you are purchasing a particular web service or like the web space, right? So, and there are local hosting services as well. Now for my website, I have purchased a server space from the local hoster. So it just charged me 3,500 per annum. So it's comparatively very cost effective for me. So I'm just keeping it and continue, right? Okay, so since you know like what are the things that you need to establish a website, so by next week I'll tell you how to create the website using the Joomla, right, or any particular web like content management system. Then let's see. So like most probably by next week we will be able to finish up the lesson. right? So we'll do it like that, people. So when we meet next time, we'll complete the note regarding the how a website is designed using CMS softwares. Right. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to end the session from here just for today. I'll see you on next week for the very same time. Right. Thank you very much, people. Have a nice day. Right. Okay. Right. Okay, people. Thank you.